So let's go underneath our file here, which is our function get total, and I'm going to remove these empty spaces and maybe make it a little bit smaller so we have some space. And now we are going to write the second function, which is going to fetch all the countries. So let's say func get all countries. And here again we are going to create AF fetch request like we did here, and again we're going to use our headers. Since these headers are inside our function, in the second function we don't have access to it. So not to type it again, what I'm going to do is just bring it outside of the function and put right under our variables here. So now we have access to it in all our class, so we don't have to type it again. I'm just going to copy this code. Yeah. And let's paste it here. What we are going to do is to change the call a little bit. So let me just fix my indentation here. And our URL, if I go to my API here, we are looking for all countries, and here is our URL. You can actually copy it if you want, or you want to type it, whatever you prefer. I'm going to copy it to save some time, and I'm going to just get the URL from here and replace this URL with the new URL. And the headers are of course staying the same. So we are calling and we are getting our JSON back. And once we get our result, since right now we are getting an array of dictionaries, we're going to change our code a little bit. So actually let's get rid of this part. So once we have our AF request, I'm going to get the response, which is the variable here. So we say let result is equals to response dot value, and this is an any object, as you can see. And then we can check if our result is nil. So we say if result any object optional not equals to nil, it means we do have something. We want to create a dictionary of these objects, which are our country data. So we say let data dictionary is equals result, which is currently any object, and we are just specifying that this is going to be an array of dictionaries, and it's going to be having a string as key and any object as value. So once we have specified what our result we are getting, which is a dictionary, we can go through our array of dictionaries with a for loop. So we say for country data in data dictionary, and now we are going to receive every country data. So if I say print country data, and if we copy this, go to our initializer and call this function. Let's see where we have an error. Okay, we are missing a curly brace here to close our function. Right, so if I just run now, because we are already calling this get all countries in our initializer, we are going to see some results here. Just let's take the last one, which is one country. So it's confirmed cases 18. The country name is Zimbabwe. critical 0, recovered 1, death 3, and then we have the coordinates latitude and longitude. And then it actually prints all the countries here, which we are not going to use now, and in this format at least. But what we want to do is to use our model and make it nice readable value, because right now it's just an array of dictionary. So let's get rid of our print statement, and instead we are going to create again local variables and then use it to create country data. So I say let country is equals, and actually by opening this, if I go to the first one here, you can see these are just dictionaries. Each country is a dictionary. So here we don't have to access the first one because this country data is dictionary itself. So I will say country data, and then we just need to get the key, and we ask for the key and it gives us the value. So if I ask for a key recovered, I'm going to get the number 43 in the case of Afghanistan. So let's get the key. And what I suggest, again, just copy paste this. Sorry, country, we want to copy the country, wherever it is. Yeah, it's the second one. And this is a string because it's the country name, but since it may be nil for some reason that we get from our API, I want to put a default value of error so that we don't crash our application. Then I say let longitude is equals, let me just copy this, paste it here, and then I just change the key to longitude, and of course the longitude is double, and if it's nil, we want to say let default value to be equals to 0. And let's create another one, and this is going to be a latitude. Again, I'm copying the key here, and it's going to be 0 in case if it's nil as well. Then what we have confirmed, death, critical, and recovered. So let me actually copy these, paste them here, and we're going to just replace this JSON with country data, JSON 0 actually, with the country data. And then the keys are the same. It's critical, recovered, death, and confirmed. But what we need to do here is, instead of saying int value, I'm going to say as, and remember this is int 64, or just set it to 0. And same thing I'm going to do for the rest. So just delete this and put them like this, and I'm going to just remove the empty spaces there. So we have everything set, and now I can create a country object. So I say let country object, and now we are going to use our model of country data, and we're going to initialize it with country. We just pass our information here, and confirmed, critical, death, recovered, longitude, and finally latitude. All right, so we just created a country object, but here at the top you can see that we want to return the array of these objects. So what we want to do is to come here, and we're going to just say all countries, which is the variable on top here. It's called all countries. Say append, and we put our country object. Okay, and before we actually do this, right under our result, because every time we are going to get, we are going to call our get all countries, this is going to get all the countries and put them in our array. And what we want to do is first to empty our array, because if you call it twice, we're going to get twice the information. So here I'm going to say var all countries. Let's put like short all count and specify that this is an array of country data objects is equals to empty string. And we're going to use these local variables, and we're going to put items into our local variable here. And once we are done with our for loop and then with our if statement, you see I'm doing this after the if result not equals nil. I'm going to say self.allCountries, and this is our global variable, is equals to our this all count, which is our local variable, but we want to sort this somehow, because right now it will just give us random value. As you can see here, I think it's alphabetically sorted. Yeah, we are getting from API alphabetically sorted, but what I want to show in my application is I want to bring the countries that have most cases at the top. So I'm going to sort them by the confirmed cases. So we have this all count, and I will say just sort, and we're going to sort by, and this is, we just put a curly braces here. I want to say at $.0, which is the left hand side, dot confirmed is greater than, and then we say $1 dot confirmed. So basically what we are saying is we want to sort them, and for the first items the confirmed cases should be greater than the second item's confirmed cases, and this will sort our array and bring the most confirmed cases to the top. So this is it with our model. Our model and our fetch request is ready. So the next thing we are going to do is just to make the visual interface to display this information. I'm going to start from the easy one, I think, and we're going to just make a list of all countries and put these things in there.